This is going to be my 60th 24-hour race. It's hard to believe it's been this many years, this many that I've done. My very first one was 1993 in Nelson Ledges, Ohio. That's a long time ago. It was the very first 24-hour race I'd ever done, and it was also the very first 24-hour race I'd ever won. So never been to the racetrack, never driven the race car before I got there. Pole, fastest race lap, won my very first 24-hour race. There's been so many of it. I've been fortunate enough to run 24-hour races all over the world. I didn't understand probably how important it was to win the Daytona 24-hour until afterward. I'd done Daytona 19 times, and I won it on my 18th. It took 18 years to finally win that race, and I really didn't understand how hard it was, that particular event. So it was pretty special. I'm not wearing it this weekend because I'm tracking all my physical functions inside the race car, but wearing that Rolex the rest of the time for winning, it's pretty special. I actually said once I got to 24-hour races, I wouldn't do anymore because they're so taxing on your body. And every lap out there, I'm trying so hard, whatever I can do for the race team, but there just seemed to be an endurance part of me that was very successful. And when you're successful at doing something in motorsports, you just want to keep going. Always setting new goals. It's always fresh for me. One of the reasons I love the Creventic series is that we're going to different racetracks all over the world, new challenges. I've always set new goals for every place I've been, even coming here. We hadn't been here in a couple years, and a lot of studying, a lot of training for it, getting ready for this kind of heat. So it never gets dull, and I love every moment of it. I wouldn't say that I have rituals, but how I train beforehand, whether it be for heat, endurance, how I study for it. The mentality part of it is a little bit different because my job really, yes, is to be quick, but my job is to hand the race car to my teammate in better position than it was handed to me, with not a scratch on it. So the mentality of 24-hour race is much different than sprint racing, much different than qualifying. So I wouldn't say any rituals, no superstitions, but the way I mentally prepare for a 24-hour is a little bit more special. Oh, I love it. I'm so lucky to be with CP Racing, super fortunate. I've been with race teams for a very long time. If I told you my first 24-hour race was in 1993, if you do the math, you'll figure out how old I actually am, which is pretty doggone old. But what's really special is CP Racing and the Creventic series is that the camaraderie that these guys have together and how hard they work, their pit stops, everything they do. So you want to be a part of that organization. I'm just a small piece of the puzzle. Even as a driver, you think, the driver's here. I'm a small piece of the puzzle for all of CP Racing, and that's what keeps me driving. I'm so fortunate that they still have me back every single race, and as long as they're racing, I'm with them. Well, that is a great question. I've been fortunate enough to go to Le Mans. I've been fortunate enough to do Daytona. I've been fortunate enough to do all the great things in the Creventic series. It's maybe not a bucket list of a track I'd like to do. There's a couple that I would like to do well. And I've been fortunate to win a bunch of them. I don't know how many I've won out of the 60 I've raced, but I can't say there's one specific one. But I tell you, if Creventic puts a new one on the series that I've never done at 24, that's the one I want to be at. We all thrive to make each other better in the race car. But I will say that to have the Creventic 24-hour series championship trophy on my shelf, it's a big deal. Like, it's a really big deal. My friends come over and they're like, what's that? And I'm like, we've won both the European series and the series of the continents from a 24-hour standpoint. And we want another one. We want to win more than just that one. So, and it's really special to do it with guys that you enjoy being around. We not only enjoy racing together, we enjoy being together, we enjoy, eating together and really being a part of the race team. So I want it to keep going. Oh, always making sure that you hand that car over to your teammate, like I said, in better place condition than you got it. And being responsible to your fellow teammates and every crew member here, they work so hard at it that I never want to make a mistake on the racetrack. not for my ego or not my position, but I don't want to make a mistake for all of these guys that work so hard. I'm so thankful that Charlie's put this team together. And it's really great because we have American drivers with a full German team, and we get to travel all over the world. So I have to say that it's really about that camaraderie. That's what brings me back, hopefully for 61, 62, 63 more races.